So here we are again with the second part of the big house build, and today we're gonna finish more of the inside, I think. And at this point in the build you can see that I have two separate hallways. To get to the back hallway you have to walk to the kitchen, dining room, or to the living and the playroom. Yeah, so in the end of this part you are gonna see that I've changed that because that just didn't make any sense. So by now I have counted all the bedrooms and we have enough. So now it's mostly just decorating and of course the outside landscaping it all. But first I'm gonna start here with the hallway. And of course the color throughout the whole house is going to be yellow, so going with the yellow theme everywhere. If I just could decide how to do it, that would be nice. And we're changing the colors of the doors, and then that we get the good wood color from the doors and then putting it on the wall. I really like these doors that I chose. I always like those types of doors. And of course we're putting the same wallpaper upstairs in the hallway too. So we're changing it to another color too, another pattern on it. And here we give the dining room some wallpaper too. I take an enormous amount of time choosing the right color wallpaper. Yeah, the right pattern first and then the color, and I want to change it, and what I want to change it to doesn't work. And it's a lot of trouble. Yeah, but in the end I found what I liked and we stick to that. In the end, of course, you see me going through a lot of different wallpapers, trying to decide, well, do I like this, do I like that? And on one of the builds that I think I chose the same pattern as I just had. You would say there should be a pattern somewhere that would tickle my fancy, but it just doesn't really. Now, I don't know exactly what I talked about in the last part, so I might say the same thing twice. Might. But yeah, now that we're doing the dining room a bit more, usually the houses that we rented, there was an option to put all the tables next to each other to make a gigantic table so that we could seat everyone. That was very nice, because then you at least get the feeling that you're there with the whole group. And I was always up the earliest. I'm still one of those persons that just wakes up extremely early every day for no reason, especially on weekend days. Of course, I have Max to ride, but we can't come to the stable until 10. So, but yeah, I always was one of the first ones up, and I would get my nieces. I have a couple of older nieces, and they have kids. So those kids I would usually get out of their room, well, because they already were awake, and we would go and set the tables. That was always a fun thing to do. I at least thought that was a fun thing to do. Getting all the plates and knives and forks out, because I just eat my sandwich like that. But some of my family like to cut the sandwich in little bite sizes and then use a fork to eat it, because why would you use your hands? I probably am one of those weird kids that was brought up eating with their hands, but yeah. So yeah, we set the table, put all the bread on it and all the butter and the cheese and all the, what would you call it, cold cuts, all the things that you could put on it and all the sweet things. Because there's this thing in the Netherlands that we like to put on our bread. It's very, very strange if you think of it, but here in the Netherlands it's a very common thing to do. And we like to put chocolate sprinkles on our sandwiches, on our bread. You first get a slice of bread, then you butter it, and you put chocolate sprinkles on it. It's called hagelslag, and it's one of my favorite things to eat. And then you have, of course, the chocolate sprinkles, but we also had like a bit of a fruit flavor. That's always, or that's not one of my favorites, but sometimes we have it in our cupboard. So yeah, sometimes I eat that and I like it. And we also have this, these are more shavings. Yeah, you don't have to tell us that we Dutchies are strange. We know that it's strange, but we still do it. And there are other strange things that we put on our breads and in the morning, or whenever you eat bread as a meal. Yeah, we have this thing, it's called a smearworst. That's like a spreadable sausage kind of thing. It's like a pâté, what they have in France. And you can buy that, and yeah, that's something that we like to put on a bread. We also have spreadable cheese, smeerkaas. Yes, that's always a fun favorite. And smeerkaas is usually very high on the list of kids, because hagelslag, the chocolate sprinkles, get messy easily, and if you spread something on your slice of bread, it doesn't get messy. Could get messy, but Usually it just sticks to the sandwich and you're good to go. Yeah, well, we moved on to the kitchen, as you can see. I could talk about food for ages, but we're currently watching a speed build, so I better pay attention to that, even if it's just for a little bit. So yeah, we're currently doing the kitchen, gave it some yellow tiles and some backsplash, something that looks like it could be wiped easily. So when my parents got the kitchen done, they went for some, it's like what they use in parking spaces for the walls. I don't know, it's very easy to clean. And this looks a bit like it. And we are putting some decorations in the room just to give it a feel of a house and not just of an empty space. Usually the houses have a little bit of character, usually. So yeah, you just brought your own stuff, and usually some of them had some like basic utilities like toilet paper. Some of them didn't. This one time, as we're watching the kitchen build, I have more stories, of course. This one time we had rented a house, like it was about 3 hours drive from where we live. And not all of my family lives near where we live, so we thought it was a nice place to go. And because all the times usually we would spread out the groceries that we needed for the house, so everybody brought something. But that usually meant that when you get there and you want a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, you would get a cup of coffee, but there would be no sugar to put in it or no milk. So this one time, I was done with it. I just said, well, we have to somehow fit all of the groceries in one car, and we're just gonna drive there and we have it all with us, because it's very annoying if you get there and everybody else comes hours later and it's just not what you need in the house, is just not there. So yeah, we did that once. So my parents' car was full of the groceries. There was this little space in the back seat for me, and that was it. The whole car was filled with the groceries, and my dad drove for 3 hours just to get there. And well, then you would think that now one person brought all the groceries, so it would be okay. We had so many food because somehow somebody didn't get the idea that just one person was bringing it, and they brought more, and then some people brought something else, and then we brought something else, and yeah, we ended up having so much food left after a whole weekend. That was just ridiculous. And I thought, well, it could be the best idea I ever had. Just one person bring all the groceries and you're done. It could have been if nobody else brought anything else along. But yeah, then they did, and it just didn't really make sense. But yeah, that was a very fun trip with all the groceries in that one car and me stuffed into the back seat. There was just literally just enough space for me to sit, and my arm, I just had to hold my arm very close to me because otherwise there was no room for it. That was how stuffed the car was at one time. That was funny. But it looks like we are moving on from. So, not now. I think, well, I don't think that this one staircase is gonna work. We must find another way to get upstairs and put some more staircases in. So at this moment, I'm trying to fit it in. Because then you could at least go up and then go down. Like up and then down to the bedrooms on the other side. But even that, it ends up not going like I wanted it to go. You will see that in the end I'm gonna delete that extra staircase, build the hallway a bit bigger and put the dining room a bit smaller, and it will be fine that way. But as I'm trying to find a way to make it work, it just doesn't, and it's very frustrating. And you have an idea in your head, and that's one of the downsides maybe. Because if I could just move the whole room, the whole dining room, that would be better, or at least maybe. That's something you can do in The Sims 4. As that is what I've seen, at least. I've never played it myself. And we're continuing on the hallway, so I think it's, well, a couple of minutes, you're gonna see that I change it and we'll make the hallway a bit bigger. That does mean that we're losing another bathroom, another toilet, and that's always a big concern because we have a big group of family, and everybody, almost everybody, wants a shower in the morning. So there has to be enough bathrooms, and I think I have 4 in this house. I think 4, and 4 would be not enough. No, I don't think we have ever had 4, or maybe once. Which meant that people were waiting to use it. Here you see what I just did. Yeah. Oh, it's not even the dining room, it's the second living room that I'm changing up. And that was, you don't really need a second living room. But it's nice. Especially in the evening. Because my grandma always was a bit deaf. So that meant that when you got there was, the TV wouldn't go on. There would be no radio. And if you had 2 separate living rooms, that would solve that. You could, in one room, you could in one room watch TV and the other then don't. And this other living room is gonna be more of the kids' room. It's gonna have a little bit more toys in it. Or the other one doesn't have any toys, and this one is gonna have some toys. And here we're changing up, or we're giving the living room some wallpaper, which is always nice. I'm trying to find a painting to go on the wall here. Something that could make a bit of sense. Do we go with my favorite custom content painting that I have? Or we probably are choosing this one. This one has some fruits on it. It's always nice. Yeah, we're putting some lily pads in the living room. That makes sense. Just trying to put some flowers in the room, because they never had flowers, but it would be a nice touch to have some greenery in the room. At least that's what I think. But it looks like we're at the end of this episode, and I hope you enjoy watching. If you want, you can like and subscribe to my channel. I would like that, but I will see you next time. I hope you have a good day. Bye.